Welcome everyone to yet another episode of CARtalk Extra. And with us today we have someone who is a premier in the nanotechnology field, and that is none other than Mr. Mufaddal Akber from Tuff. Mufi is here with us to talk a few things about, to bust a few myths about nano-coatings and to explain further on how it works and why we all need one, frankly. Welcome Mufi, it's good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Suneth. Thank you for having me. Really
Right.
nice to be here.
So Mufi, a few things that we need to speak about to address some concerns our fans had as well. I'd like to get in depth with you on all these issues, and to start with, okay, let's take it from here. What is a nano-coat? We've heard this term used so frequently, so much, and everyone, like I said earlier also, everyone does nano-coating. But what is it?
Okay, see, Suneth, the thing is, what is a nanoceramic coating is, there are many misconceptions in the market. I would like to address this by starting off by saying that the nanoceramic coating, nano-coating, ceramic coating, glass coating, quartz coating, crystal coating, they are all names of the same product. The base of all the products that are available currently in the market, they are more or less the same. There are actually maybe one or two people who use actually the base as glass, but mostly 90% of the people use the base as ceramic. The ceramic particles are broken down to nano-sized particles and then mixed with SiO2, and then it is converted to a liquid form chemical that can be applied to the car, giving you an additional protective layer above your clear coat. What is a ceramic coating is that it is, simply put, it is just like the wax or the sealant that you have on your car, but something that is more permanent and more harder. So the resistance that it would have against environmental factors is much more than having a wax or a sealant. So in basic words, that is a ceramic coating. It is a layer, protective layer on top of your clear coat that protects your clear coat from harming environmental factors.
Right, I see. So something, when you said all that, what came to my mind is, and what we've been doing over the last so many decades, is waxing.
Yes.
So essentially, isn't a wax the same thing? How is it different?
Okay, so I mean, we can't say it's the same thing. There is a very specific reason to that, is the durability factor. So when you actually look at it from a microscopic level, when you fill, the paint of the car is like hills and valleys. When you look at it from a microscopic level, even a fresh paint is like hills and valleys. When you fill it with wax, it actually fills, and it still has a little bit of
the same ripples, you mean?
And
Right.
ripples.
Right.
So it's not flat as a ceramic coating. What happens is that this, because of the inconsistency, it still holds up dirt, grime, holds up water, and eventually wears off. So in environments like Sri Lanka, tropical weathers, humid weathers, waxes will usually wear off in about 2 to 4 weeks. So maybe if you take it in terms of washes, at the most 2 washes. Another reason for that is that if you use a very good car shampoo that actually has some sort of silicone based material content in the shampoo, it will probably let the shampoo, the wax last longer. But the problem is most of the car washes use very harsh detergents, hence washing off the wax very quickly. It does not bond with the paint. It does not bond. It's just another thin layer on top of your clear coat.
Right, as opposed to a nano coat which bonds with the paint.
Yeah, nanoceramic coating bonds with the paint on a molecule level, making it a permanent bond. So every atom in the ceramic opens up and goes and bonds with the clear coat of the paint, making it a permanent bond.
Right, and I'm guessing
Permanent
it fills out those imperfections in the paint as well to give it a smooth surface.
Yes, and that is why it's hydrophobic. So when you actually fill it out, where you have those hills and valleys, it fills out to a layer where the finished layer is actually as perfect. It's a perfect straight line.
Right.
And
Okay.
that is why it's hydrophobic.
Right.
Something that falls onto the surface just slips off.
Slips off. I see. Right. So and one more concern that everyone has when it comes to nano coatings is, of course, the cost. And when you look at it, you get a quotation from any one of the main suppliers we have in the country. It's easily going to be above 60,000, 70,000, sometimes over the 6-figure mark. And of course, then there is always eBay. Someone could just simply say, you could just buy some. Why spend so much on this when I can simply do it at home? I've seen DIY kits for nano coating, and then I see your institution and the others who who work, with so much protection and gloves and whatever other safety equipment. Um, are these both the same thing, or how does eBay offer you at a fraction of the cost as opposed to what you do? And how is this a DIY that can be done at home when you take so many precautions? What's going on here?
Yeah, that's a very good question. In fact, even we've been asked by our clients that why do we charge so much opposed to where they can buy off a DIY kit off eBay or AliExpress for maybe $10 to $20. See, I'll tell you, Suneth, the biggest concern is that when you're applying a ceramic coating, there are a few, but let's take number one is prep work. So you can't apply anything on a car, even if it's a sealant. You can apply a wax after a wash, but even if it's a sealant or especially a ceramic coating, you cannot apply it onto the car without preparing it. And usually I tell everyone who works with us, the prep work is 80% of the entire coating job. It's actually 20% is only the coating. You cannot apply ceramic coating on an unprepared car where the surfaces have so much of contaminations, grimes, dust, industrial powder, scratches, swirls. You can name it, you can find all of these water spots, acid rain damages that a person cannot even see on his car. Whereas when we look at it, we know what are the problems that are there. And that is why every time we finish a job, even a customer comes and gives us a brand new car and he comes and sees his car after the job is done, he is amazed because he can see a very clear difference. It's like, simply put, if you have a wall in your house and if you just buy a bucket of paint saying that you want to paint it and you don't prepare the wall, you don't clean it, and you just apply a coat of paint,
Right.
It's not going to work.
Right. Yeah.
It's not going to work. And the other thing, the DIY kits. DIY kits are made, to be honest, for the European and the US markets where the weather conditions are very stable, number one. They are made for a purpose. Of course, there are good companies, there are reputed companies I know of who make DIY kits. They're reputable, they do a good job, but the culture in those countries, in that part of the world, is a bit different. Their people have, they love their cars in a way that they know how to do a polishing, they know how, they have tools, equipments at their houses, to do this work. But when it comes to Sri Lanka, how many car owners would have a car polisher at their home?
That's true.
There's, I think, minimum to none. It's very, very few counted people who actually have the knack to do it. They would maybe have a polisher, but that too, they would, what is available right now in Sri Lanka is mostly the 8 to 10,000, 12,000 rupee rotary machines that are not used for ceramic coating. They're used to cut the paint, not to polish it. So something that actually can polish the paint will cost you about 150,000 rupees.
Right.
Those are professional grade machines, and those are not available with most of us in our homes. And that is why you should be selecting a professional company to apply the coating on your expensive car.
Correct.
And the other thing that with DIY is that DIY coatings are made not to last too long. One of the specific reasons is because they don't make it harmful. Now, if you take a professional grade coating, these have very strong chemicals that could harm your skin. If you inhale it, you could have other problems, eye irritations. So there are a lot of safety factors, precautions that we take. As you said, why do we wear safety equipment? And one of the things that happens because of this is that it is able to give the durability. It's able to give that length of time. If we say it's lifetime, 10 years, 8 years, 5 years, 6 years, 3 years, whatever it is, it's able to provide that sort of durability compared to a DIY coating. A DIY coating is made for those who just want to apply it at home without making sure if the company or the brand who's making it, they don't want civil cases against them saying that some guy has
burnt his hand or
burnt his hand and skin irritations and all that. So they make sure that the coating is very safe. And in order to make it safe, they can't make it durable. So it's going to probably last you a couple of months to 6 months at the most, and that's about it. But again, there is no guarantee that you even apply one of those on an unprepared surface that it's going to work. Or forget about working. If it doesn't work, I'd be happy, but it would in fact cause damage to your paint. And we have had instances where customers have bought such situations that they applied it themselves looking at YouTube videos, and then they had problems where they could not fix it. They had to come to a professional guy, and they had to spend, in fact, at least 20,000-30,000 rupees on removing that coating off, correcting their paint, and then applying a fresh coat on top of what we charge.
Right. So there you have it. I mean, those are the clear damages of or the clear dangers of doing it yourself.
Yeah.
And like you rightfully mentioned, of course, Western countries, they're more hands-on with their cars because I suppose one issue would be the cost of labor, whereas here labor is a lot less. And of course, the time factor. We say have such busy lives. Us as Lankans, we have such busy lives. We not have time, unless you're a true enthusiast, to spend so much time with the car. But that's where you come in. That's where you have professionals who can do that a lot better. So that's actually good to know. Hi everyone. Thank you for watching. And I'd like to take a moment to thank our media partner, MediaWise Studio. And also, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel and like this video, and also click on the bell icon below so you get notifications whenever we go online. Thank you, and Build, Drive, Inspire.